Well, I don't know if any of us are not dealing with stress one way or another, and there's so many elements of it, but it's also having an incredible effect upon us as individuals. I am really delighted to have with us today Dr. Jeffrey Brown. He's the instructor in the Department of Psychiatry at Harvard Medical School. He's board certified by the American Board of Professional Psychology in both clinical psychology and cognitive behavioral psychology. He's authored this book, Say Goodbye to Stress, Manage Your Problems Big and Small Every Day. Well, I would like to do that. Dr. Brown, what a delight to have you with us, my friend.
Thank you. It's a real joy to be with you.
Where are you? Where are we Skyping you in from?
Well, you're Skyping me in from Boston.
Boston?
It's a great connection. It's a great connection.
Yeah, you're looking good. Thanks for being with us. Is it true that stress now is one of the main sources of disease in our culture?
Yes, in fact, it is. Research is telling us that between 50 and 60% of all of the health-related issues that we have can be traced back to stress. We certainly feel stress from day to day, but we probably don't realize it has such the impact that it does in our lives, and it certainly can affect our health.
All right, and when you say that, I mean, that's a big thing, because I was talking to somebody over the weekend, some friends. I don't know of anybody whose life hasn't been affected by cancer. Is there a connect between cancer and stress?
You know, some research is revealing that cancer is something that is stress-related, among other things as well. I think the thing that we have to be doing in our culture today is dealing with the demands of modern stress. Stress has changed shape over the years, and certainly we are living in a different time where stress has several different components to it.
All right, let's take a look at the book, because you have kind of interestingly broke it up in some stages and kind of walk us through that, Dr. Brown.
Sure. Well, when we put Say Goodbye to Stress together, we wanted to almost be an owner's manual for modern day stress. So there are different chapters, things that related to finances, things related to difficult work relationships, also a chapter on what you can be doing immediately as far as your diet and exercise and sleep to affect stress in a positive way. Stress comes in all shapes and sizes these days, and we have to be able to manage that and to use research-based strategies, things that are very current, things that we can see in the research today, to be able to deal with this modern stress phenomenon.
All right, let's add to it the world that I'm in, and that's all this digital communication. And we all have our phones and our iPads and our computers. And we do a lot of neuromarketing here and generational science research, and we're finding out that the attention span's getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Multitasking is going through the roof. Are these stress items?
Oh, they certainly are. Multitasking is one of those things that we've been duped into believing that we're good at. I had a conversation just this weekend with someone about multitasking. She was a docent at a museum, and she was talking about how she runs the cash register and does either the short or the long tour, and also is dealing with people who come in who have questions and almost trivial sorts of things about the museum. But this idea of multitasking, our brains are not wired to do several things at once. And in fact, women have been implicated as being better. They might be, but none of us are really efficient. We have to be able to prioritize and do one thing at a time. That's what our brain is doing. If you think about the idea of multitasking, it requires focus. And to focus, you have to look at one something and deal with that one something. So we need to not continue to believe this fallacy in our culture that we're good at multitasking. Our brains say otherwise, and so does the research.
So are we unnecessarily stressing kids out?
Oh, I think that's a broad statement, but usually broad statements don't fit. But I think in this world they do, and that statement does fit. Opportunity is something that is a problem for us, and it's growing. We have too many opportunities, I believe. You go in to buy a bagel, how many flavors do you have to choose from? 12, 15? The options and opportunities that we have out there seem to be really continuing to grow. I find a lot of people are worried about missing opportunities, so they say yes to things too much, and that fills up their to-do list. We have to be able to say no. We have an entire part of a chapter dedicated to the power of no and how to say no in Say Goodbye to Stress, because I believe it's something that we get ourselves involved in, and then it gets over our head rather quickly. People bring things to us. We're very willing to say yes, because gosh, it's an honor to be requested to do that. But oftentimes that little 45 or 50-minute task mounts up when we say yes to about 10 of them.
Well, I want to dig into that a little bit, because I think we're clearly over obligated. I'm clearly guilty of it, and I forget that no is a complete sentence.
It certainly is, and it can be it can have an exclamation point at the end as well if necessary.
Right. Yeah. So how do you tell patients to unwind? How do you get them to de-stress?
Yeah, well, going with this idea of using the word no, that's a great place to start. When people bring opportunities to us, they usually ask us because of some special skill or ability that we have. They often know that we're going to feel guilty, just like you said, if we don't say no. So one thing we have to do is be able to say no. Now, if they don't take no for an answer, usually they don't the first time, it's a good idea to say, well, let me have some time to think about that, then give some time, then shoot back an email. I think even better is a handwritten note that says thanks for the opportunity, but also offer a creative alternative to them so you can still be part of the solution, and will help you with your guilt and managing that guilt.
So I guess we could throw all these stresses out on the table. I don't know how we prioritize them, and I don't know if we want to prioritize them, but what is the number one stress builder? What's the number one stress item? Is it money?
You know, well, you would think it would be. Sadly, one of the top stressor is the loss of a spouse. There's the Holmes and Ray scale is actually posted in Say Goodbye to Stress in the book for readers to go through and see what it is, the life events that they've incurred over the last year, to see how many events actually have happened. And it also lets them know what the ranking of the stress, what's the impact of that, what's the stress wallop, if you will, and loss of a spouse is number one. We can also have good things that happen in our lives as well that cause stress that we often overlook. Our bodies really can't tell the difference. Marriage, big holidays like Christmas, birthdays, if you still count them, those all can be stressful, and our bodies don't know the difference. So we have to be mindful of the stress that is coming at us so we can manage it well.
So where do you put faith in here?
Faith is an incredible source for people. Those who have faith are using it to be able to manage stress. There's research that talks about faith and talks about prayer as being an incredibly important component. Of course, as believers, we know that that is a significant piece of what we do to manage faith or manage our stress, and that's to use faith. If we don't do that, we're really missing out on a little God-given opportunity to manage our lives in a better way, and let the Lord be doing that as well.
Well, it seems to me it's also an opportunity, because when people see peace in your life, it becomes an opportunity to tell them about the Prince of Peace.
Absolutely. Forget about the research and look at people's lives and look at the testimony of their lives. I think that is far more important than being able to quote statistics. That one-on-one relationship that we have with people, and we reveal how our faith plays out in our lives, can be very powerful.
All right. How do you help people who worry about everything?
There are those people that worry about everything, aren't there?
Yeah.
They lose sleep, they can't concentrate, they sometimes don't have an appetite. I believe, and it's important to point out, that my background is in cognitive behavioral psychology, meaning cognitive, we look at how we think.
Right.
We want to think accurately about our world and the people that are in it and the world around us, in fact. So worrying often will reveal that we have some sort of something in our thinking that's askew, something that's off, a popular maybe a common, I should say, an error we make is that we think that we know what other people are thinking, particularly thinking about us. For example, if I was to walk into a room and I felt anxious about being in front of several new people as I walked in, I might be thinking that they're judging me, or I might be thinking that they know something about me that's a secret, or perhaps they've been talking about me. I have no idea what's really going through their minds. I can tell you this, though, that most people tell me that they're worrying what you're thinking about them.
Yeah.
So the mind reading is one example of how we can have a cognitive blip, this glitch that we have in our thinking can lead to anxiety. Another one is being able to look down the road and looking into the future. We call it the fortune-telling error in cognitive behavioral psychology. We try to predict what the future will be, and we're never good at that, and we typically always predict that the outcome will be negative, and then we start worrying about that. We have to keep ourselves in the here and now and not worry about things, not let our thoughts lead to anxiety. It's very scripturally based, in fact.
Yeah, great. I only got about a minute and a half left, so don't worry about outcomes. Outcomes belong to God, right?
Absolutely.
All right. The name of the book is called Say Goodbye to Stress. Where can they get this, Dr. Brown? This is fantastic.
Say Goodbye to Stress. Yeah, Say Goodbye to Stress is available everywhere books are sold. It's available on Amazon. It's also available as an ebook as well. So you can get it in a hard copy or you can get it for your e-reader as well. You can go to my website, also drjeffbrown.com. You can order it through there as well. I have some other resources for stress management there that are available to folks at no charge, just to land on the site and enjoy trying to pull life together and manage stress better.
All right, so in 30 seconds, how do you tell people to manage the stress of their mortality?
Well, managing the stress and mortality, I think living life and having it more abundantly is scripturally based, and keeping life in the here and now. I think we do have to look at the life that we lead, the life that we live, and the life that we want to be able to have people remember us for. That's our legacy. And if our legacy is going to be wrapped up in worries and stress management that's poor, then that's what people are going to remember. But we need to really claim Scripture and have life that's abundant. And abundant, to me, sounds stress-free as possible.
All right, Say Goodbye to Stress by Dr. Jeffrey Brown. Check it out at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and go to jeffreybrown.com. And you can pick it up there. Dr. Brown, thank you, my friend. Let's have you back real soon,
pleasure.
okay? Okay, God bless you.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow on Focus Today.